Greetings and welcome to the very first Livity Gardens Cook Along. As the name implies, we will be cooking together a recipe that you can always find on livitygardens.com. But if you want a little bit more insight, follow me as I will be tilting the camera to show you exactly how I do. And with the list of ingredients that's available at the bottom, you can buy your ingredients prior and follow along as I describe the recipe. So it's a great way to cook together. I hope you enjoy it. And today, for the very first Livity Gardens Cook Along, we're going to be making one of my favorites, the Broccolette salad with a Maple-Dijon vinaigrette. That salad is made with 1 pound of baby broccoli, so it's nutrient dense and it's delicious. The Maple-Dijon vinaigrette is nice and sweet, and the addition of dates makes this a whole meal in itself. I hope you enjoy. Let's get started. So welcome back. As you can see, I tilted the camera so you can see exactly everything that I'm doing for this recipe. So we're gonna start by prepping our broccolette or baby broccoli. So if you washed yours already, wonderful. If you didn't, then go ahead while I get my stuff set up here. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna cut the stems a little bit because that's a lot of stem. But we're gonna keep most of the stem because there's a lot of nutrients in there, and why waste it, right? We're gonna cut it in very small, so you're not gonna be chewing on stems for 5 minutes. No worries. So let's just line these up a little bit. So let's remove the bottom here, just to give ourselves a little chance to chew. Can put that in the compost with the rest. With the rest here, we're gonna go, and what I would like for you to do is to get a big bowl right next to you, because every time we're done with an ingredient, we're gonna put it in the bowl, and then at the end, we're gonna mix the salad with our hands, and it's gonna be a beautiful thing. So with the rest of this, mine has been washed already. So what you wanna do is really cut the stems very thin. I have some big ones in here, but try to go as thin as you can. So I hope you're doing this the same time as I am. This is why we're calling this a cook along, so that we're all done at the same time and we can share the results at the same time. So here, let me put these stems in the bowl. So imagine the nutrients in this salad. This is all raw, as I was saying earlier. We're not gonna cook anything here, so it makes this very, very simple. It's just a matter of chopping and mixing. So we keep going. Once we get close to the heads of the broccoli, you wanna go a little thicker. Give yourself a little bit of bite here. You can keep some of the heads intact for a nice crunch. So here, let's continue with these. Then last batch. I hope you're doing good over there. I'm not rushing. I'm gonna wait for you guys to complete. Again, chop the heads a little bit, not too much. I wanted to add also that this salad, I've tested it many times, and because there's no lettuce in here, I've had that the day after. Even if it was mixed with the vinaigrette, you can keep it for a day or two in the fridge and it's gonna still hold its shape. The taste is gonna be, if anything, it was actually a little better the next day. Rinse my hands. So we're done with the baby broccoli. That was not too hard, right? Then we're gonna use our almonds that we were soaking previously. I soaked mine for about 4 hours in hot water. You can soak overnight in room temperature water, or even some people soak for 30 minutes in very hot water. But I like to give mine maybe 4 to 6 hours soaking. So you rinse. Once you soak nuts, you have to rinse very well afterwards. Dry a little bit. You can leave that to the side to dry while we're gonna prepare another ingredient. And then our next ingredient is going to be the shallots. So this salad calls for about half a cup of shallots. So I'm guessing that this will be more than enough, probably too much. So peel your shallot. So we're going to mince the shallot because you don't want to have a big bite of shallot when you eat your salad. So what I do, peel this one. Shallots are great. I love red onions, but sometimes shallot, it has a less of a harsh taste. And when you want to eat raw, shallots are just a great addition. If you want that onion garlic profile without the bite of an onion, shallots are actually one of my favorites. And honestly, caramelizing shallots in olive oil with some thyme in a pan and putting that on a vegan burger, it's just a beautiful thing. So many things to do with shallots. I have some growing in the garden that I should harvest now. It's getting hot out here in Arizona. So again, slice thin. Try not to cut yourself. This knife needs sharpening, so I try to be careful. Should have done that before the video, right? So slice on one side, slice on the other. Give it a nice chop. Et voila. Then same thing with this one. Want to get about half a cup. If you don't like that flavor profile, feel free to put less, or feel free to put green onions if you prefer that. That's no problem at all. Even garlic would do a great job here. It's just that garlic is very small, and we're going to put garlic in the vinaigrette. So you have the garlic and the shallots in here. Again, so once you're done, in your bowl, let me move here so you guys can see the bowl as well. There you go. Then, after the shallots, we're going to do the dates. So the recipe calls for about a third of a cup of pitted dates. I like dates, so I'm putting maybe a little bit more than a third of a cup. I'm putting 4 dates. These dates are pretty big, so third of a cup is about what you want to end up with, but I'll just put a little bit more because it's so good. So same thing, remove the pit, chop, and then as you will see, these all get stuck together. And if you want them nicely distributed in your salad, feel free to sprinkle them all over here and kind of remove them from the other with your hands. But once we mix with our hands at the end with the vinaigrette and everything, you'll see things will be distributed more evenly. Now my hands are very sticky. I want to rinse. After the dates, we're going to be making the vinaigrette. So imagine this was actually the almonds. Our almonds, which are here. So it was calling for, the recipe calls for half a cup of raw almonds that were soaked, and then you want to chop them. Here, that'll be easier like this. There you go. Don't want to put the pit of the date in there. That'll be quite a surprise. So when the almonds have been soaked, they're very easy to chop. They are softer, and they give to me, they give off very nice texture in the mouth. They're not too hard like unsoaked almonds. They still have a nice crunch to them. They remind me a little bit of the texture of fresh coconut a little bit. And because they've been soaked, if you want to keep them whole, you could do that too. go. It's approximate, but you just want to chop a little bit. And then in your bowl. So easy. Now we're going to talk vinaigrette. This vinaigrette is very simple. Again, in a measuring cup, let's start with this since we're going to put the olive oil right away. So let's do a 1/4 cup of olive oil, like so. And in that same cup, we're going to keep it here. And once we're done with the ingredients for the vinaigrette, we'll put everything directly in the measuring cup. We'll be whisking that at the end and putting on top of our salad. So the next ingredient for the vinaigrette, we'll take care of our garlic right now. The recipe calls for 2 cloves of garlic. That's how I like to peel my garlic. I just smash it. And this way, once it's smashed, the skin gets off a little easier in one part most of the time. Some people press their garlic. I like to chop mine finely because I don't like gadgets so much. I have a fully stocked kitchen, but the gadgets, not so much. So here, same thing that we did, similar to what we did with the shallot, but you want your garlic probably a little bit more minced because it's going in the vinaigrette. And this vinaigrette, by the way, we're using it here for this salad, but you could use it for any other type of salad. It's just a very basic Maple-Dijon vinaigrette. Very easy to make, very versatile. There you go. Now we have our garlic. Let's put that in here. Try not to drop everything on the side like I just did. There you go. The knife. Wonderful. Now, after, we're gonna go ahead with our apple cider vinegar, Dijon mustard, and maple syrup. So the recipe calls for 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. You wanna shake this very well. I use the Bragg's brand. I think it's the best. So 3 tablespoons. 1, 2, and 3. Now keep your tablespoon because we're gonna put 1 tablespoon of maple syrup. There you go, all in the same measuring cup, so easy. We're gonna rinse that spoon because we're gonna use now 1 tablespoon of the Dijon. I forgot the Dijon in my fridge. So let me get that. So 1 whole tablespoon of Dijon mustard right here. There you go. Now you want to use a whisk. You could also make this vinaigrette in the mason jar, and instead of whisking, you shake the mason jar. I do that sometimes too. So careful that it doesn't splash. Give this a very good whisk. We'll end up with a very nice vinaigrette here. And then you put salt and pepper to taste. Some sea salt. Some nice pepper, freshly cracked. A nice little stir. How easy was that? Now, we are gonna pour this vinaigrette directly here over the salad. Make sure you get every bit of it. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I love cooking with my hands. I think there's no better way than to feel your ingredients and be enticed to eat than to touch and look and smell. I think the sense of touch has been quite overlooked in our society when it comes to cooking. There's nothing better. You should smell this too, speaking of senses. This is beautiful. And you know what? That's it. Let me wash my hands, wash my kitchen tools, aka my hands. Then you want to grab a nice bowl. I'm going to move this, kind of make the place clean for us, because when you serve, to me, that's also art, because food presentation is creation. And again, when we think about our senses, don't you guys eat with your eyes as well? I know I do. So you want to get a nice bowl. Put your salad in there. Then you make sure that you have some dates. How beautiful is this? And there's 2 portions. This is a big portion, but this is great for a meal. So the salad will give you 2 portions as a main course, or 4 smaller appetizer size portions. How beautiful is this? So, how did you guys like making this salad? Wasn't it easy? But the ultimate test is the taste test. So, let's check it out. Well, yeah. This is serious deliciousness. The sweetness of the dates with the crunch of the almonds and the broccoli, it's just so delicious. If you did not make it with us though, please get your ingredients and try it. It's really worth it with summer coming along. You can bring this on a picnic, a potluck, or if you have a friend's barbecue and you don't know what to bring because you're the only vegan, bring this salad. And I'm sure other people will kind of like it too. If you liked what you saw today and you want to join us for another Livity Gardens Cook Along, stay tuned on this channel and I'll be posting more cook along like this. And I forgot to say, if you want this recipe, if you want access to it outside of YouTube, go to my blog, livitygardens.com, for this recipe and a bunch of other ones. I hope you enjoyed it.